नमस्कार, आप सभी का स्वागत है। मैं हूं राहुल और आप देख रहे हैं eVidya चैनल्स और NCERT का ऑफिशियल यूट्यूब चैनल, और साथ ही साथ आप हमें देख रहे हैं फेसबुक पर NCERT के ऑफिशियल पेज पर। दिस इज द टाइम व्हेन वी ब्रिंग यू दी परिचर्चा, मनोदर्पण की जब हम बात करते हैं। तो आज हम एक खास टॉपिक पर बात करने जा रहे हैं is in this paricharcha, and the topic of discussion is empowering adolescents for nation building. This is the topic of discussion in today's paricharcha. मनोदर्पण एक ऐसी शुरुआत है मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ एजुकेशन की जिसमें साइकोसोशल सपोर्ट है, खासकर हमारे एडोलेसेंट्स के लिए. So would like to begin this session with the message of G20. We are proud that India assumed the G20 presidency and will convene the G20 Leader Summit for the first time in the country in 2023. A nation deeply committed to the democracy and multilateralism, India's G20 presidency would be a watershed moment in the history as it seeks to play an important role by finding the pragmatic global solutions for the well-being of all, and in doing so, manifest the true spirit of Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, or the world is one family. So this is the message of G20. With this positive note, would like to begin this session. आप भी हमारे इस लाइव इंटरेक्टिव सेशन का हिस्सा बन सकते हैं यदि चाहें तो. 8800440559 is the telephone number. With the help of it, you can directly connect with us. And if you have any questions or queries, feel free to ask. हमारे साथ एक पैनल है और वो सभी पैनलिस्ट जो है आपके सवालों का जवाब देने का यथासंभव प्रयास करेंगे. So would like to begin this session. And मैं हमारे जो आज पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं, जो आज हमारे पैनलिस्ट हैं, उनसे आपका मैं परिचय कराता हूं. So would like to begin with Dr. Dhanya Krishnan, madam. She is the assistant professor in Department of Extension Education, Regional Institute of Education, Bhubaneswar. Ma'am, good afternoon and a very warm welcome in the session.
Namaste.
Thank you very much for joining with us. हमारे साथ हैं डॉक्टर दिव्येंदु कुमार बेज. आप असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर हैं डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ एजुकेशन, रीजनल इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ एजुकेशन, भुवनेश्वर में. सर नमस्कार एंड अ वेरी वार्म वेलकम इन द सेशन.
Namaste. Very good afternoon. Namaste.
थैंक यू. और हमारे साथ हैं मिसेज रनीता कर्माकर. आप स्कूल काउंसलर हैं लिटिल फ्लावर स्कूल, जमशेदपुर, झारखंड में. नमस्कार एंड अ वेरी वार्म वेलकम रनीता जी. और रनीता जी के साथ साथ हमारे साथ दो और पैनलिस्ट हैं, उनसे भी मैं आपका परिचय कराता हूं. वी हैव मिस्टर जयदेव कर. सर इज द प्रिंसिपल इन डालमिया विद्या मंदिर, राजगंगपुर, ओडिशा. सर गुड आफ्टरनून एंड अ वेरी वार्म वेलकम.
नमस्ते. नमस्ते सर. नमस्ते.
थैंक यू. और हमारे साथ हैं मिस्टर शिवा प्रसाद पटेल. आप पीजीटी साइकोलॉजी हैं, ओडीएम ग्लोबल स्कूल, भुवनेश्वर में. शिवा प्रसाद जी नमस्कार एंड अ वेरी वार्म वेलकम.
नमस्कार.
So with these panelists, would like to begin this session in which we are going to discuss empowering adolescents for nation building. कितना ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है adolescents को मजबूत करना, और जब वो मजबूत होंगे तो ऑटोमेटिकली हमारी जो कंट्री है, हमारा जो देश है, वो कितना मजबूत होगा. So this is the very important and pertinent topic in today's era. So would like to begin with Dr. Dhanya. आपसे मैं आग्रह करूंगा कि इस सेशन को शुरू करें. Why should we focus on empowering adolescents for national development? कैसे आप इंट्रोड्यूस करने वाली हैं आज हमारे इस परिचर्चा को?
Thank you, Rahul, for the question. And dear viewers, we are sitting here for this panel discussion for this Paricharcha on a very auspicious day of when we are celebrating the birthday of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. And this is the right time for us to think about nation development. And as we all know, adolescents are the human capital for our country and for all the world. Then we need to channelize their energy for betterment for the national development. If we can start the discussion by giving a small statistics of 2011 census says in India we have 253 million adolescents, and there's a huge, or the highest adolescent population across the world. So having a positive spirit among the adolescents, having the workforce channelized, that is very, very crucial for the progress of the nation. So when you see that India has the highest adolescent population, and understanding that achieving sustainable development goals, millennium goals, this very significant that this human capital, this particular group of population has to be tapped, their potential has to be tapped for the benefit and for the progress of the country. Now, when you see that adolescent, the phase, as all of us know, there's a very crucial stage because there is identity formation. In fact, we know that the identity crisis also happens there at the same time. And this is the phase where they start participating in the civic activities of the country. And adolescent is the stage of the rapid cognitive development, physical development, and socio-emotional development as well. And this is the time when adolescents start interacting with the world in a different perspective as well. So when we consider the significance of adolescent phase, it is very important to see that how we can invest in the development of adolescents. In this particular context, we need to think about their empowerment. See, when you see that empowerment, there is no standard or uniform definition for empowerment. Because it consists of different components from the multiple disciplines like human rights, education, health, psychology, and so on. But I would just like to quote one of the definitions given by UNICEF. It says that adolescent empowerment is a personal journey during which an adolescent goes through the increased assets and critical awareness, develops a clear and evolving understanding of themselves, their rights and opportunities in the world around them, and through increased agency and the voice, and they participate and they have the power to make personal and public choices for the improvement of their lives and their world. If you critically analyze this particular definition given by UNICEF on empowerment of adolescents, we can see that there are majorly or mainly four components involved in it. One is the increased assets. Then second is about the critical awareness. Third is about the voice and participation. And the fourth is about the making choices. When I say increased assets, assets could be in the form of access to knowledge. It could be in the development of skill. It could be having appropriate value system. When I say critical awareness, again, critical awareness about the self. At the same time, awareness about various issues, which happens in and around us. It's within self and around us as well. The third point is that when you have that critical awareness about the issue and you understand your own right and responsibility for the self and for the society around, then you have a voice to raise and you have the skill to participate in the process as well. There comes the importance of making choices, making rational choices for the improvement of self and for the improvement of the society. When we define empowerment in terms of these four components, I just would like to, discuss about the two different levels of these dimensions again. One is about the self or individual level. The second is about the more broader point of view of societal development. When I say self-development, if I can give a small illustration that when a girl is empowered, an empowered girl, she can delay her age of marriage and she can choose for her career or for her higher education. But when it comes to the second level, that is about the societal level, and an empowered adolescents can voice again some of the issues like pollution. So it is for a social cause. So when you say about the empowerment, let us not consider empowerment as an end. It could be both means and end as well. It is the cultural, structural process of understanding self, understanding our own strength, understanding our limitations, understanding and exploring the privileges an adolescent has and the oppression if they undergo. Because many times when it comes to the oppression, we see that the people who are oppressed, they are not even aware about they are being oppressed. So having that clear understanding about what exactly we are going through and are we under oppression or are we having certain privileges, that understanding becomes more significant for them to react, to participate in all the democratic process of the nation. So having a very healthy individual, not only in the physical health, it's the psychosocially and emotionally healthy individuals, healthy adolescents, that becomes an asset for the nation itself. So we have to channelize the process of enabling an environment through which our adolescent group can feel empowered, they can voice out their opinion and we say that many times we say that we are reluctant to say no to many things. And we have film dialogue as well, no means no. But most of the times we feel that
Right.
when adolescents go through substance abuses, or
Hmm.
if the energy is not channelized in the right direction, then it is the responsibility of all the stakeholders, parents, communities, school, teachers, to make them feel that about the empowerment and think about the empowerment, and then do act as per, and as an empowered citizen of the country, Rahul.
राइट, अग्रीड। और जैसा आपने कहा कि एक मुहावरा भी हम लोगों को पढ़ाया जाता है स्कूल में बच्चों को, खासकर कि यदि आप प्रसन्न रहना चाहते हैं तो ना कहना सीख लें, और ये बहुत मुश्किल होता है। इट रिक्वायर्स अ प्रैक्टिस। थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर शेयरिंग योर थॉट्स ऑन दिस टॉपिक, एंड as you already begin this Paricharcha with us. So moving ahead, we are talking about nation building, और नेशन बिल्डिंग के लिए जो हमारे यूथ हैं, जो हमारे एडोलेसेंट्स हैं, उनकी बहुत ज़्यादा आवश्यकता है। सो वी नीड टू टॉक अबाउट द फिजिकल हेल्थ ऑफ आवर एडोलेसेंट्स एंड हाउ इट इज़ इम्पॉर्टेंट इन नेशन बिल्डिंग। सो डॉक्टर दिव्येंदु कुमार हमारे साथ हैं। सर, वुड यू प्लीज एनलाइटन अस ऑन द सेम?
Very good afternoon to everyone. And yeah, it's a very important topic. And I would like to start with the quotation of Swami Vivekananda.
Hmm.
He very correctly quoted regarding adolescent ki, you should be stand as a rock because youth are the indestructible. They cannot be destroyed. So here youth are the nation builders. We should go with the youth's physical health first, because physical health, uh, it's one of the important aspect of the human body. That first thing, physical health, if it is very much correct, physically a person is, if it is fit, if that youth is very much fit physically, then only he will be able to perform the various kind of activities that we should understand. So here there are several importance of physical health, because we are talking about the nation building. You should not sit very laxly. So there are several kind of importance of physical health. If you are physically fit, then the first thing will be the confidence will be developed. For our children, confidence is very much important parameter, and then we can say their personality will be developed. If you are physically fit, you are able to stand direct. If you are able to do the activity very quickly, you can go with a strong personality. Then you can avoid the injuries, diseases, hypochondriac diseases, those we can avoid. So it's a very important thing when we are talking about physical health. So if these are the part, if these are the parts of like our physical health, then we should know how to maintain our physical health. For that, personal cleanliness are very much important, my dear students. And here we need to go for the regular cleanliness activity of our physical body, because we are talking about our neuromuscular ability, neuron, nerves, and the muscles. So if we want to keep those things in a very high parameter, if we want to set that, then we have to go with our personal cleanliness, regular cleanliness of our like eyes, teeth, our taking bath. It can be wearing the clothes, like um, not only that, you have to always follow the niyamas, niyam, those kind of things. You have to follow all sort of yamas, niyamas. Like if we talk about physical health here, every day we should go for regular physical activity. Every day we should go for certain pedagogical knowledge, educational knowledge regarding physical activity and sports. Not only that, the side by side we can go with the yogic activities. Yoga plays an important role nowadays. So here, if we go with the pancha kosha, the very first stage is annamaya kosha, which is related to our vital energy, our physical body. If it is very much correct, then only we can go with the manamaya kosha. Mind will be developed. So here again we need to understand ki, if we are talking about the nation building, and youth are the flag bearer of our nation. So there they should go with, they should keep their physical health very much intact and very much positive. They like should not have that obesity. cannot afford or like less reaction time. And they must go with uh, regular like physical activities, regular like strenuous or vigorous kind of activities, so that a Greek phrase is there, men sana corporo sano. A sound mind can live in within a sound body. So when we're talking about a sound mind, and then sound body is very much important. A good health is very much important. So physical health, we cannot take it as a granted. We have to have go with the proper diet. We have to have go for the 6 to 8 hour proper sleep, deep sleep. We have to have avoid those unhealthy practices like watching TV or laptop for so long, sitting in a particular place for so long, or not going for walk and doing our physical activity by our own. Those kind of things we have to avoid. Taking junk foods, those then unhealthy practices, taking drugs and alcohols, those kind of things we need to avoid. And only mantra nowadays after pandemic, during pandemic also, when we were in under the lock and key, that time also we did several physical activities inside of our home and at the rooftop. Nowadays again we have stopped. Our youth are very much concerned regarding the results and all, but they are not focusing on their physical health.
Hmm.
They are sitting on that particular place. So I must say ki every day they should go for physical activity at least for 40 minutes to 1 hour. They should involve their time in those physical activities, guided physical activities, jogging, walking, running, or jumping kind of activities, so that their physical health will be improved, and accordingly they will never say no for the things. They will never say no. They'll be having enough energies left for meet up the emergency situation, and then they can take up any challenges, and they will be the pillar of the nation. So with this, I once again I will say my students ki you need to have a good physical body, muscular body, so that you will become the leader. You'll be having that attractive personality, and accordingly you will be becoming the nation builder. Thank you.
राइट, थैंक यू वेरी मच। और जैसा आपने कहा कि इफ़ वी हैव सॉलिड बॉडी, वी हैव वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग बॉडी, देन वी कैन डू मैनी मैनी थिंग्स ईजिली। थैंक यू वेरी मच मिस्टर दिबेंदु, आप हमारे साथ जुड़े एंड यू हैव शेयर्ड दिस डीप इनसाइट ऑन दिस पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक. So we are talking about physical health, mental health, and this is all about, you know, psychosocial support type of presentation. So now we are talking about psychosocial development of adolescents in the right direction is a predeterminant for our country's development. But how is it? So this is the question for Mrs. Ranita Karmakar ji. Would you please share your thoughts on the same? Mrs. Ranita Karmakar is the school counselor in Little Flower School, Jamshedpur, Jharkhand. Ranita ji, can you hear me?
Yeah, good afternoon, Rahul,
Good
and
afternoon.
thank you so much for your question.
Please.
May I have the presentation, please?
Yes, definitely. We will have it.
We'll begin with the next slide. So, yeah, Danya ma'am and Mr. Dibendu Kumar very well spoke about and gave us an insight about why is it important to empower our adolescent, our youth, and why is physical development important. So once again, I want to revisit the data, and I want the viewers to please note that you see out of the entire huge population, a majority of the population in our country is youth, which is a great, you can say, potential in our country. Now, when we talk about the youth, we have to understand that entire population of youth is not literate. Out of the entire population of youth, only 59% of youth are literate. So we need to work a lot on education of youth. Now the question arises that why is it that we have to put so much of importance on youth empowerment? here comes that the youth demography comes with both positive and negative implications. When I talk about the positive implications, they form the major workforce. They are the ones who can drive creativity, who can drive innovation for the development of the country. So it is extremely important that we prepare them, groom them, empower them for the rapidly changing global economy. Now, when I talk about the negative implication of youth, if they are not integrated in the society in the right direction, then they can be a source of social and political unrest. Therefore, the responsibility is on our shoulder that we prepare them such so that they can walk hand in hand and help the country, our country, to be the global power. Moving on to the next data. Next slide. Yeah, so you can see on the screen that what power a youth has in changing the society, immediate society, as well as the world, the global power. Now we will understand by the next slide that why are we talking about psychosocial development? Psycho, the word means your internal world, your mind, what is present inside, and social is the outside world. It is very clear from the slide that the inner world needs to be in sync with the outer world.
Right.
What you are thinking inside, we ourselves, all of us cannot live a solitary life. We are all social beings. So, in order to work, in order to give our best, in order to live happily, we need the world. And when we give back to the world, it comes back to us. So there is an importance why the inner world and the outer world needs to be in sync. So psychosocial development means what your brain is thinking, what is your internal construct is, and how you are responding to the external environment through your internal construct. Also, we will not forget that the society, the parents, the teachers, the school, and the neighbors, the relatives, all play a very, very vital role in making the psychological construct of a person. The experiences the adolescents are getting throughout their lifetime is what they become later. Suppose we find an adolescent, a youth who is very aggressive. The youth has not become aggressive just overnight. It is the experiences of his lifetime which has made him become aggressive. Maybe there is a lot of rejection, there is a lot of hatred, shame, low confidence that the youth has faced, because of which later on the youth has become aggressive. So here comes that psychosocial development means we are empowering the youth emotionally, socially, and making him mentally strong. Can we have the next slide? So it becomes extremely important that we groom our adolescents for that psychosocial development and make them powerful so that they can lead our nations at the global level. Thank you so much, Rahul.
Right, agreed. And yes, youth has the potential, but the data is very, very much not impressive. 59% are the literate. सो यानी कि 41% का जो डिफरेंस है उसको हमें वाकई में आपने सही कहा कि हमारे कंधों पर कुछ ज़्यादा ही भार है. एंड आई एम श्योर कि हमारा जो एक टीचिंग फ्रेटर्निटी है वो इसमें दिन रात लगे हुए हैं सो दैट वी मे अचीव दैट 100% लिटरेसी जो 41% का शॉर्टफॉल है. सो विल सी व्हाट वी कैन डू. So now we have discussed the psychosocial support as well, physical health की भी हमने बात की. So now the important part is the economic development of the country. So how significant is it to empower adolescents to ensure their contribution to the economic development of India? So this is the question arises for Jaydev sir. Sir, would you please share your thoughts on the same?
Yes, thank you. Thank you for putting this question to me. Thank you, Rania ma'am and Ranita ma'am and Dipendu sir and Shiv Prasad ji, all panelists here. Actually, ma'am spoke very nicely. Just to 253 million people, there's a youth and still in India. And I want to say, actually, in every fifth person, one person is youth, and who is going to lead the nation, as said Renita rightly. And if you're going to lead the nation, and Diptendu said, he mentally and physically has to be fit. So this nation has to be led by the youth, and they have to lead the nation. Now, one thing, when all you are talking about physical, mental, social, everything, now it is come from financial health of the country. And financial health means where it comes the economic. Before that, I am going to discuss few things. What actually happening? If you look at the GDP of India, so how previously it was working. If you look last 2021-22, it was actually GDP growth was 9.2%. If you take 2020 to 23, it was near about 7%. Now, India is the fifth largest economy in the world. If you want to be top, your economic rate by 2047, likewise, or 45 or 47 or 30, so you have to growth rate have to be 14.2. So if you want to lead the nation, this youth, you have a target right now. If you are not mentally fit, physically fit, you are not engaging yourself, so then it will be very difficult to lead this nation further. If you want to come the top position in the world as an economy, you have to lead the nation 14.2 ratio on that points if you are growing in the economy. Now, points comes here, how they will contribute. Now, to target is our is that much, and most of the times, as Renita said and ma'am also said, ki they are not properly groomed, educated, or they are in different places where they are not able to contribute. If one person is earning, at least he can contribute the nation. To earning means you have to fit for the nation, because physically, mentally fit, that I have to be skilled. So a lot of opportunities happening from the government and private sector regularly, that the government is creating a job and skill-based training to everybody, where the children has to be put and nurtured, the youth has to be put. That is the part of our education is, as well as private sector, government sector, everybody has to give proper direction where the children or youth can be properly put in a proper job in a skilled manner, and working place to be such suitable that where they can do the production of anything and whatever they are servicing for the nation, that has to be very fit on that way, that they can meet that target of 14.2. If it will little bit slow, you can see it will take another 50 years. If you little bit growth rate will take another, suppose we can take a 9.2 or 10, it will take another 50 years to India to come on the that in particular economical growth. So it is a huge responsibility shoulder, not only the youth and the age group from 10 to and even 10 to 35 people. These people has to lead the nation. So for that, the engaging them in a skilled manner in a proper working place, and providing strategy of entrepreneurs in startup, which will lead the nation in where we have to create a lot of job for the nation as well as the earning. So which will lead to the economic. So that way you can engage the youth for the betterment of economic growth of the nation. Thank you.
Agreed. जैसा आपने कहा, we are talking about entrepreneurship, we are talking about startups, और तमाम सारी चीज़ें यहाँ पर हो भी रही हैं. So moving ahead, and now the very important aspect of the country's development, if we talk about the holistic development of a country, so there is a sustainable development is a very particular topic which we need to discuss with the adolescents. So how can adolescents contribute to the sustainable development of the country? So this is the question arises, and हमारे साथ Siba Prasad Patel जी हैं. So Siba Prasad ji, would you please enlighten us on the same?
Thank you so much for this question. Actually, before discussing all these things, I just want to share about an incident. एक पुरानी किताब पढ़ रहे थे हम, और उसमें एक छोटी जगह पे लिखा था कि बच्चे मिट्टी की तरह होते हैं. Means you can make them in that way, and we can promote their inner qualities. That qualities can help us to build our nation. Just like that, sustainable development. So sustainable development is highly based on human development as well. When we are saying about human, that means we are going to consider as human consider as a resource. So here we need to focus on certain data. Like today we have approximate 1.8 billion people in between the age of 10 to 2024, and it is the largest generation in the whole history. So let's focus on this particular data. And when we find out the teenagers among the whole 1.8 billion people, approximate more than 90% are teenagers. So when we are trying to focus on the next generation, how they will going to promote our country, how they will going to uh, make a certain kind of targets, certain kind of developmental approach, not for their own, for the whole humanities. At that case, we need to provide them such kind of opportunity. So, and when we are discussing about sustainable development, uh, it's a basis. So when we are saying about sustainable development, that is a phase as well. When we are saying कुछ शुरुआत करने से पहले हमें ये देखना पड़ता है कि हमारा एम एंड ऑब्जेक्टिव्स क्या होने चाहिए, है ना? तो बच्चे लोगों को जब हम सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट के बारे में बताएंगे या फिर उन्हें एक एनर्जी का सोर्स बनाएंगे कि दे विल गोइंग टू प्रमोट द सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट इन फ्यूचर, and at that case, we need to consider that these young generation, young people are having the power, having the source of motivation, and these people are also considered as the source of knowledge, not for us. Even if when we are focusing that the human development, certain technological aspect or certain practical field, teenagers are much more advanced than young people. So let's discuss about 10, maybe 10, 10 or 15 years before. All these things are not there. The generation where we lived, it was bit in between a place where we are approaching to new technology. But the coming generation, those who are there, they have the advanced technology and they may use it in a both positive and negative ways. So for that, we need to train them. We need to provide them such kind of, we can say, skills. Skills are already there, but we may develop such kind of skills which may promote not only the sustainable development, but also better habits. Just like we may start from a small things within a primary primary school student. Just like take an example, they are in a class and we are providing them all those facilities of teaching and learning process, but during the you know game period, when they are leaving the room, we need to train them this saving electricity is how much essential. In an experiment, it was an experiment in maybe New Delhi, where ये ऑब्जर्व किया गया था कि बच्चों को कुछ कलर दिया गया, उन्हें कलर इस्तेमाल करने के लिए बोला गया. They choose all bright colors. All right. At the same time, वो सारे ब्राइट कलर्स को जो उन्होंने इस्तेमाल किया, नेक्स्ट एक राउंड किया गया, उसी में सेम कलर्स प्रोवाइड किए गए एडल्ट लोगों को. व्हेन दे आर यूजिंग ऑल दोस कलर, एंड सेकेंड टर्म में फिर बच्चों को बुलाया गया कि उसी सेम जो बचे हुए कलर को इस्तेमाल किया जाए, तब उनके पास वो ब्राइट कलर्स नहीं. सो इस एक्सपेरिमेंट में ये पता चला कि अगर हम अभी जो सोर्सेस अवेलेबल हैं उसे properly utilize ना करे, तो next generation may not be have an opportunity to utilize the similar kind of energy sources.
Right.
That may be electricity, that may be water, that may be the vegetation that we have. So at that case, children are those individuals, the little things they may learn. That may be starting from a small habits to promote them as a leader, to promote them as a trained individual, those who will going to train other as well. That maybe we may consider as a peer counseling. So here we may start from little steps. Little steps may convert into a huge step, then huge step may help us to achieve that goal. So that may be considering small ideas, provide them those ideas to convert into action, and that action may help them to practice and make it a habit. And when they will going to be in a certain age, that habit definitely going to help them to promote sustainable development. So when we are saying saving electricity, switch off the fan, switch off the lights when you are getting out of the class, it sounds so common. Yes, switch off करना, light बंद करना, fan off करना है, बच्चों को बताना ना बताना, that's not that much important. But this small things can promote children to think that how all these things are important, and how they may save all this source of energies. Then maybe use different kind of resources which may be recyclable. At that case, they may also learn, and they may also instruct their surrounding. जैसे बच्चे होते हैं, बोलते हैं कि पापा ये मत करो, वो मत करो, हमारे स्कूल में ये बताया गया, वो बताया गया. When you are visiting the kindergarten students,
Right.
when they learn something, they goes to their home, they try to explain all those things with their
Right.
elders, with their parents.
Right.
And when a small kid is saying all these things, parents definitely will going to follow. So it's not like that only we are here to learn, to train children. A lot of things can be changed through children. So that is a process where we may include children to change, and where children are there, those who can be the source of changes. Thank you, sir. Thank you for this opportunity to explain all this.
राइट, अग्रीड, और थैंक यू वेरी मच. और आपने जो भी उदाहरण मैं कहूँगा शामिल किए हैं वो बिल्कुल हमारे दैनिक जीवन से जुड़े हुए हैं. और ख़ासकर जैसा आपने कहा कि बच्चे जो है स्कूल में सुनकर आते हैं और घर में बताते हैं, लेकिन वो सीखते भी घर से ही हैं. जब वही चीज़ें घरों में नहीं हो रही होती हैं, या आपने कहा कि जब वो एक्सप्लेन कर रहा होता है बच्चा और माता पिता को बताता है, तो जैसे हम प्लास्टिक का ही उदाहरण लें, तो अक्सर हम ये चीज़ें देखते हैं कि जब हम कुछ बेहतरी करना चाहते हैं, कुछ बेहतर करना चाहते हैं, तो हमें कुछ अपने जो हमारे पहले ही संबंध है, पहली पंक्ति के संबंध है, उनसे कुछ दो चार होना पड़ता है. लेकिन बेहतर बनाने के लिए राष्ट्र को ये सब करना ही होगा, जैसा कि आपने कहा, और वी आर ट्राइंग हार्ड टू डू इट. सो मूविंग अहेड, अभी हमने बहुत सारी जो है इंडिया के बारे में बात की, नेशनल डेवलपमेंट के बारे में बात की, साइकोसोशल सपोर्ट के बारे में बात की, इकोनॉमिक फ्रंट की बात की, सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट की बात की. नाउ एज वी नो दैट इंडिया इज़ अ डाइवर्स कंट्री, सो इन दिस कंट्री वेयर वी लिव टुगेदर एक केवल शब्द नहीं है, ये बहुत सारे इमोशंस हैं, बहुत सारे धर्म हैं, बहुत सारे समुदाय हैं जो एक साथ मिलकर रहते हैं. सो द क्वेश्चन अराइजेस, हाउ इम्पॉर्टेंट इज इट टू इंक्लूड एंड एम्पावर adolescents of all genders and ethnicities in nation building? So this is the question for Dr. Dhanya. Ma'am, would you please answer it?
Rahul, well said. Living together.
Right.
It's highly philosophical at the same time. We look forward to, or we work towards, having a world which is conducive and which is livable to everyone. That is what the sustainable development talks about. It is in addition to the conservation of energy and resources, there are points that how can we live together peacefully and understanding and respecting others as well. So a great start, Rahul, for answering this question. See, as all of us know, the adolescent diversity could be represented in terms of the differences with respect to the gender, with reference to the ethnicity, with reference to the ability or disabilities or challenges that people face, and could be from any other variable as well. The point here is that how do we make them included, or how do we make them feel included in the mainstream? That becomes very important for development and for the progress. Many times, the data says that NCPCR conducted a research in 2018, and the research findings indicate that 63% of the girls who are dropped out from the secondary level, they are engaged in the household work, whereas the data is 33% for the boys. So there is a variation. And there are many researchers indicating that the tribal learners, there are people who are from the different geographical conditions, they are socio-economically disadvantaged sections. In fact, the National Education Policy 2020 talks about the 5 different categories of socio-economically disadvantaged section and how we can empower them or include them in the mainstream as well through different educational activities. So when it talks about gender, it's not only about the girls, it is that the people who have different gender identity. One of the researchers conducted at our own institute on educational issues of transgenders, the finding is that most of the transgender community members who we sample, they all said that they had dropped out from the school at the secondary level and they had to go for begging or any sexual activities and so on for earning their life. It actually, it talks about the economic development, what Sir was talking about, and it talks about the psychosocial development of the adolescents of that particular age where they felt depressed, where they have to go through the different trauma, where they couldn't find much support system. So when we look at this particular data or the research findings, we understand the importance of the point called living together by respecting, by adoring, by respecting the values and opinions for the people and making them come together for the progress of the nation. Because we have a huge, as all of us agreed and then mentioned, the largest adolescent population when we have for our country, it is very, very significant that we make a point that irrespective of their differences in terms of gender or sex or the place from where they come or the ethnicity what they have, it is very, very significant that their contribution could be tapped to develop the nation in economically and in overall development as well. If you see the sustainable development goals, it talks about equitable learning environment in terms of education when we say, because we know that there are many students don't complete the schooling. We are in the process of ensuring access, ensuring enrollment of the students and children to the classrooms and having achievement of those students or learning performance of those students at par. But the data, again, even National Achievement Survey 2017 and the recent one as well, indicate that our students are not being included for the better learning performances in all the levels. So again, this indicates the requirement of a very conducive environment wherein children, irrespective of the differences, feel included and they can contribute. In addition to the feeling of being included, it is that to what extent we can provide opportunity for the young generation or the adolescents to express their talents, express their cultural values, and express and they can contribute much to the nation development. One is about the life skills. What we are talking, even while answering the first questions by the panelists here. Critical thinking, problem solving, decision making. It's not only decision making, it's the responsible decision making for the issues, wherein these people also feel that we are also part of the, the destiny of our country. We are very much part of in the democratic process of the nation. Unless and until these people are empowered, when I say empowered, the power comes as a very important component there. And then power cannot be transferred. Power cannot be given by someone. It is that we should acquire that power. It is only that adolescents could be empowered. That for that, all of us, all the stakeholders can provide an environment. We can enable them to become empowered. But we cannot transfer power to one person. But we just have to provide the opportunity for them wherein they find that they can explore much and they can contribute much together. So that living together concept, what you mentioned in the beginning of the question, that becomes worthwhile. They can contribute much to it. And basic assumption for this is that we respect the people. We don't have a prejudiced mind with reference to their racial element, with reference to their gender. We try to, accept them as also as they are. And it's self-acceptance. At the same time, we understand others as well with reference to their strength and weakness also becomes important. See, when I say self-acceptance, it is that even I belong to the particular gender, I have the gender identity, I need to have the confidence that I can contribute to myself and to the society around as well. And it is the commitment of the society to provide that opportunity that I get, a chance to make a decision there, to exercise my own right there. I understand about my right and I exercise my choices and I contribute to the nation as well, Rahul.
Agreed. Thank you very much for sharing your valuable comments on the same. और जैसा आपने कहा मैं बिल्कुल सही समझ रहा हूँ यदि तो yes, if we have star performers then we can win the match, but if we have a performer team then we can win the championship because we are talking about India, और India is a championship where हम चाहते हैं कि जो हमारे adolescents हैं वो सक्षम हो, वो साक्षर हो और आत्मनिर्भर हो सबसे ज़्यादा, जो आज हम देख रहे हैं। और जैसे कि अभी जयदेव सर ने भी बताया था कि किस तरह से स्टार्टअप्स की हम बात कर रहे हैं, कैसे इकोनॉमिक इंडिया की बात कर रहे हैं। सो मूविंग अहेड, एज वी डिस्कस्ड अबाउट द फिजिकल हेल्थ लेटर ऑन अर्लियर, सो डॉक्टर दिव्येंदु, एक चैलेंज है यहाँ पर कि हाउ वी कैन एंगेज एडोलेसेंट्स फॉर देयर फिजिकल हेल्थ, कि कैसे उसको वो अपनी जो उनकी वेलनेस है उसके लिए हम उनको कैसे एंगेज कर सकते हैं। वुड यू प्लीज आंसर इट?
Ji Rahul ji, thank you so much for asking this question. And here it's a very challenging task nowadays. So I want to start this particular, I want to give the answer with the quotation of Swami Vivekananda again. He said that anything that makes you weak, physically, intellectually, or socially or spiritually, you should reject those things as a poison. As a poison, you should reject those things. So it's a best quote, I think. Which things we are making us things which making us weak, those unhealthy practices and all, we need to leave it. But the thing is that how we will engage those adolescents for their physical health, for the betterment of their physical health and wellness. That is again challenging task. So first thing is that we need to set their objectives. Their objectives must be very much clear. What they will be getting by doing physical activities, by having a good physical health, that should be very much clear for them. If it is once clear, I'll be getting a good physical health, I'll be having an attractive personality, I'll be having a great confidence, I'll be having faster reaction time, I'll be having like a proper neuromuscular coordination balance between the activities. I should be like very much critical I can critically analyze the thing. If they are knowing this kind of thing, and again we will be getting good result while sitting in the examinations. So intellectuality will be increased if those kind of things, if they are getting, means objectives, if it is cleared once. And being a teacher, being a parent, being a coach, whoever it is, being a mentor, if you have assured this one to the students or the adolescent, they will be definitely ready for take that risk to go for physical activity. Second thing is that we should encourage them. It's not like that always we will be demotivating them. What will happen if you go for walking, if you go for jogging, if you play games and sports? What will happen with you? You will not get good marks. This kind of thing we should not tell. Definitely, if they perform that, if they perform the games and sports, if they devote their time in that physical activities, definitely there you should encourage them. Otherwise, being a teenager, they will not go for those kind of activities. So encouragement is very much important. Motivation is very much important. Role model. Nowadays, the India is having our Neeraj Chopra, great athlete, gold medalist in javelin. Nowadays, everybody, we have seen when we are going for the officiating and we are playing here and there, everyone's kids are having javelin with them and practicing the games and sports. So likewise, as ma'am said, when we are talking about the togetherness, it's about everyone. Dhanya ma'am has correctly mentioned, it's about everyone. We should not go like you are the girl or you are the transgender, or you are the someone else, or you are the special child, you will not able to play. No, special child, they are going for the Paralympics. India are very at the Olympics game in the medal tally, in terms of medal tallies. So role models play a very important role. We can take the example of Mary Kom. We can take the example of PV Sindhu. We can take the example of Juala Gutta. So many players nowadays we are having. Mithali Raj. We are having Virat Kohli. Nowadays Shubman Gill.
We can talk about
We are
Deepa
having
Malik
Baichung
as well.
Bhutia.
Deepa Malik as well. We can,
Yes, Deepa Malik,
उनका
excellent
नाम भी जिक्र
gymnastic.
करना जरूरी होगा जी.
Yeah, obviously. So we are having a lot of role model nowadays, and through by virtue of that, we should motivate them, and we should encourage them. Yes, you should play, and you can take this one as a serious business of your future. For your future, you can take it as a serious part.
Right.
And then only if they perform that one seriously, their physical health will be improved. Their all the dimensions of wellness will be improved. It can be social health, it can be mental health, it can be physical health, it can be economical health, everything will be improved. So these things are very much important. Not only that, family members will play an important role over here. What is the thing, my dear students, nowadays family members are too busy with parents are doing jobs for your study and all. But the thing is that if after a meal, if they go for a um, jogging, means parents as well as the children, if they go for a jogging or walking, or going for cycling and all, or playing games and sports together, spending time with the children in certain activities, then their physical health will improve, obviously. Because if there is a say, charity begins from the home. If family members are inculcating the good values on the children or the adolescent, then these kind of family members are like inculcating those good values, good habits for gaining the good physical health, then it will play an important role throughout the life. Students and the adolescents and the teenagers, they will not leave these kind of activities if family member will be helping out. And after that, we have to go for various physical activities. I will try to guide you in those physical activities. Like, don't forget about our running, jumping, balancing kind of activities. Cycling is very important. Cycling, swimming, crawling, catching, throwing. These are the fundamental activities. And what we have forgot, we are forgetting nowadays. Simply, we are sitting in a particular place for so long. If we spend certain time on those activities, at least, as I said earlier, keep 40 minutes, by doing all those kind of things, by mixing all those activities. So these kind of activities are not like too much like a hectic one, or it will take you a lot of energy, or it will like make you weak. No, you can easily perform it. You can easily perform this kind of thing. And these are feasible. So you have to perform it. So we can guide this way our children or teenagers or the students. You have to perform it, and you means we teacher, coaches, trainer, everyone, mentors, they should be the active participants. Only telling from the side, giving lecture method, it will not help. If you are fit, then only you'll be asking your students to become fit. Listen you then. So that is a very important thing. Then only their physical health will be improved. If you are not involving in those like junk foods and those unhealthy habits, they will be not involving, because they will be following, they will be observing you as a role model. So that is very important thing. Being a parent, being a teacher, being a coach, being a trainer, we are the active participants. Correct. And these are the very important thing. And where another thing we can take into considerations, according to the new NP and all, key indigenous sports, we have to give importance to the indigenous sports. We have to involve certain times like hide and seek. Like we can go with the various kind of activities like kabaddis, and then kho. Not only that, we can go with malkham. We can go with various dice games. So indigenous activities where the running and the big muscular activities or soft skills are involved, motor skills are involved. There also student physical health will be improved. So this way we can guide our children to overcome those obstacles, health issues, and then only they'll be having a healthy habits, healthy practices. And altogether, as Nanya ma'am quoted, we are targeting to build a healthier nation, to build a great nation, great Indian community by working together,
Right.
irrespective those prejudices. Then only we will say, yes, our adolescents are ready to take up the challenges. So here I want to end my conversation with a quote of Swami Vivekananda. Take risk in your life. If you win, you can lead. If you fail, you can guide. Thank you. Thank you. That's all.
राइट, अग्रीड। और आपने जो भी जो भी नामों का जिक्र किया है वो सभी कहीं ना कहीं डिसिप्लिन से ही रहे, मतलब जुड़े रहे हैं शुरू से, तभी वो इस मुकाम पर पहुंचे हैं। और यहाँ पर मैं एक साक्षात्कार भी साझा करना चाहूँगा हर्षा भोगले जी का, जो कि किसी पहचान के मोहताज नहीं है, एक ऐसे कमेंटेटर जिनका लोहा दुनिया मानती है। उन्होंने एक बार पब्लिक फोरम में कहा था कि जब वो इंटरव्यू दे रहे थे कि आई मेट धोनी ओनली वंस इन पर्सन, यानी कि सिर्फ एक ही बार मैं उनसे मिला हूं निजी तौर पर, अन्यथा मैं उनसे नहीं मिला हूं। सो उनके कहने का मतलब ये था कि जो धोनी है उन्होंने अपनी जो एक क्लोज सर्किट बना रखी है उसमें बहुत कम लोग हैं, वो मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम ही फोकस्ड ऑन हिज गेम। तो कैसे आप अपने आप को नियंत्रित रख सकते हैं, ये सीखना होता है इन रोल मॉडल से जिनका नाम आपने लिया। और ये सब वो लोग हैं, वो नाम है जिनको आज किसी परिचय की कोई आवश्यकता नहीं है। थैंक यू डॉक्टर दिव्येंदु फॉर शेयरिंग such deep insight in this in the field of physical health. Thank you very much. Moving ahead, and now we talk about the healthy psychosocial development again. So how can we ensure healthy psychosocial development and mental well-being of our adolescents so that their contribution to the nation building could be optimized? So we have Mrs. Ranita, to share the answer of this question. Would you please share it?
Thank you once again, Rahul. I would like to explain through my PPT.
Yes.
Can I have the PPT, please?
Yes, we can watch the presentation on the screen.
So the slide that you see on the screen now tells us exactly what adolescents are going through when they reach the stage of being a teenager. They have a lot of identity conflict. They look for a lot of independence, and they're struggling with relationships in terms of not only opposite sex, but also with peers, also with their parents. Adolescent is a stage of stress and storm. It is like a tug of war. The family wants the child to be more inclined towards the family, and the friends are so powerful that they try to snatch the person from the family. So wherever the pull is stronger, the person tends to bend towards that side. And the parents might feel that he or she has gone away from the parents. But it doesn't happen like that. Later on, it all becomes fine. So what we see is when adolescents are going through a rapid physical growth. So we are able to see the physical changes. We can address them that there is a lot of change in this person. What we are not able to see is the hormonal changes that are taking place in the adolescents, the psychosocial changes that are taking place in the adolescents. So this is where the catch is, that as adults, we need to understand the internal changes that an adolescent is going through. So for this, I go for the 4H developmental method, which is given in the next slide.
Okay.
The 4H development has 4 words, that is the head, the heart, the hands, and the overall health of every adolescent. So we will take one by one. So the first one is the head. Head means what? How we think, how we reason out things, how we analyze things, how we remember things. So the next slide tells us what is considered to be most important when we talk about development of our head in the young adolescents. May I have the next slide, please? It says, accept the world. Our youth should understand that the world will not be according to them. The world is different. There are different people around us. All are unique and different from each other. Everyone cannot have the same ideas. When we are pulling in ideas, if there are 10 people in a team, 10 people will give 10 ideas and maybe one best idea will be accepted. So acceptance is the first thing that you should give importance to. And young adults should also understand that it is okay to lose sometimes. We have to accept that sometimes we may not win. What is important is your effort journey. Your journey of effort should be 100%. Result will be secondary. You may succeed next time. So focus and invest a lot in yourself. As for example, if you say you are suppose taking a small sapling, you will water it every day. The way you water it, the way you take care of it, it will give us fruits after many years. Similarly, this is a message for the young youth that instead of investing, since you are the screenagers, instead of telling teenagers, I would address you as the screenagers, and we invest a lot of time in others' lives. I would suggest invest a little bit of time on yourself and see what is important for you, and then you will get the best of yourself. The next one is heart. What can we do about this? Though heart is not actually the organ which feels, it is the head which feels, but heart means it is related to emotions. May I have the next slide, please? Heart. So what you see on the screen is accepting oneself. I have been created by this nature in a definite way. Why should I change myself for others? Why should I look some way as others want me to be? Why should I use filters to make me attractive so that others put a like on me? You have to respect yourself first. You should love yourself first. Only then you can have love and respect for others. The sense of giving is another very important thing that will give you immense happiness and you can lead a balanced life. Only gathering things from others is not beneficial. When you help others, you will get a different kind of happiness, which only those who give can understand. So you should not depend on what is others doing to you. You should think what is right for you and deal with the world the same way. The next important thing is taking care of your hands. The next slide is about the hands. Hands means how you are developing your skills. Now here comes in which are the skills in which you can get engaged. May it be singing, drawing, sports, instruments, dancing, designing, cosmetologist, any skill that you are interested in. Do not go by the mob mentality. Just because my friends go for this class, I will. You have to look into yourself and see what are you interested in and engage yourself in developing your skills. Your skills are yours. You are unique and you have been born with unique talents. So do not depend on others of what is good for you and what is bad for you. Skill development will not, like for example, I will tell you, you may say that if I like to sing, I may not be a good singer. I may love to watch cricket match, I may not play cricket. So don't think that you cannot become a good singer, so you should not go to attend singing classes. If you like music, if you think you can understand music, go for music classes. You may not be a great musician later on, but this will help you to lead a balanced life. When you will come home after working 12 hours strenuously, this will help you to de-stress yourself. So the three important things I have discussed is the head, heart, and hand. And when we talk about health, health means the overall health. three aspects of the health: physical health, that Dr. Dibendu has already spoken of; mental health, how you are accepting things, taking things, answering no, accepting failures. So that is your emotional health; and your social health, how you deal with people around you. So there are three aspects of health. Now, suppose I want to give you a countdown so that our screenagers can remember easily how to take care of their psychosocial health. I begin from 10. There are many emotional needs that we have. So young adults need to be loved, they need to be accepted, they need to be trusted, they need to be appreciated, they deserve a safe and secured environment. So it is the responsibility of the teachers, of the parents, of the caregivers that we provide such emotionally secured environment for our youth. Coming to the ninth point is your physical development. Remember that mind and body are interdependent. So if you feel that only good eating will help you to lead a balanced life, it cannot. Or if you think only thinking good and not eating properly will help, it will not. Both are dependent on each other. So my ninth point is take care of your physical engagement.
Okay.
The eighth point is set your academic goals. You have your own academic goals, which will not be the same for you, for the others. The seventh point is take care of your social skills, of sharing, of, you may say, when it comes to social skills, it is also how you see others, how you address others' issues. Are you only a silent listener? Are you only a silent spectator when something is happening wrong around you? If you do not take a stand, who will do that? So develop your social skills. The fifth one is take care of your five senses. When you're traveling, I have seen most of the screenagers, hardly they look outside the car or the train. They are constantly into the screen.
Right.
So invest a little bit of time on yourself and see that all your five senses are taken care of. Number 4, another 4H, take care of your head, heart, hand, and health. Number 3, see that you are physically, socially, and emotionally strong. Number 2, seek help from your parents and teachers. And then comes one, that you become an empowered youth. Now, most of the times what happens is youth complain about a lot of stress. So I would like to just share a short story with you, my young viewers. You must have heard about the story of eagle. An eagle has the capacity of surviving of 70 years. But the age of 40, it realizes that its falcons have become very heavy. The beak has become weak. And it can no more soar high in the sky. So there are two options left for the eagle. Either the eagle has to die, or the eagle has to go through a very painful process of breaking the beak so that new beak is formed, of shedding of the falcon so that new feathers can be formed. So at the age of 40, the eagle chooses that it goes through that pain and then it can soar high and high in the sky. So stress is part and parcel of life. You can never imagine a life without stress. So when the entire world speaks about there's lot of stress, I want my young youth viewers to be strong when there is stress.
Right.
Make yourself like coffee beans. You know, when coffee beans are under the stress, that means when they're put in boiling water, what happens to coffee beans? They spread a beautiful aroma. So sometimes under stress, we can bring out the best in us. So take care of yourself, invest more time with yourself, and you will be the nation builder. Thank you so much.
राइट अग्रीड बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आपका ये पूरी बातचीत अपनी हमारे साथ शेयर करने के लिए. सो मूविंग अहेड एंड नाउ वी वुड लाइक टू टॉक अबाउट द स्किल डेवलपमेंट. जयदेव सर, आपके पास मैं आना चाहूँगा. डू वी नीड टू हैव सम स्ट्रेटजीज कुड बी एम्प्लॉयड so that for the skill development of our adolescents?
Yes, absolutely right, Rahul. as Rinta ma'am was talking, investment on yourself. So so same way we have to invest on youth, and for that where the economic things and strategy can be taken forward for the national development. The thing is that if you look at the National Skill Development Corporation in statistic 2021 and 22, there are more than 1.2 crore people are skilled and trained that they should engage themselves in the nation for the nation in some of the places where they can earn something, where you will find 40% of them are from this youth. And actually not only in that cases in government, in both I have seen many of the I have seen and read also, not only the central government, many of the state government on their capacity they are also creating the strategy for their state as well as the nation, that children should engage in that way, that they should be productive for the nation. So that but the thing is that why we have to take more and more strategy on that, and we have to engage the adults and in the proper way where they can be productive for the nation. What exactly happening, as Dania ma'am was telling before, that the classroom, all these educational sector, other sector, yes, that is absolutely right. But thing is that one is gap, the bridge, we have to bridge the gap between the theoretical learning and the industrial and as well as the engagement, where the skill is developed by the capacity is developed by the individual, where they have to engage in the industry sector. That is one point. Second point is that, as I said, government has to, or the state government, central government, private sector has to offer certain subsidies and create a certain job for this youth. Subsidies, because youth can come and they can create an entrepreneurship as for their engagement, as well as they can engage other also, or where they can create a job. Another third point is that this youth, they have, as they are going to be shoulder the responsibility, so most of the strategy has to taken for the youth purpose, and no gender there is no gender differentiation, as ma'am rightly she was talking previously. So every person should get an equal opportunity for that one only, that particular path where the national development can be done. Beside that, there is a lot of policy where every sectors, if you look at the sectors of the national skill, and everywhere they are also taking Pradhan Mantri Yojana, Rozgar Mela, all these you can Udan, the capacity building program, everywhere is happening, where the people, the students and youth, they can learn and they can engage themselves particular. And one point was talking, I hope it's Vinita or Mem was taking the creating the Mem was talking, Dania Mem was the creating the atmosphere, a conducive atmosphere for where the family, students, and the workplace I am talking, where they have been given a strategy for that also. That can be, the workplace is proper, the people can be more productive for the nations. So industrial sector giving a capacity building program to them, skill development, creating new job for them, as we are talking a startup for the people, and creating employment opportunity, entrepreneurship. Even if I hope the NEP and other all these are giving importance of the skill education, and most of them will find in CBSE school and other state board schools, they have given a skill education for the children, where children can be in initial level, in teenager level, they can got a training for different skills, where it will engage themselves in adulthood with to the productive purpose of the things, because every time we can create a job for them, but somewhere we have to create a space for them where they can earn, they can survive, they can balancely mentally life, they can live, and they can contribute for the nation also, and they can save something from their point of view, they can survive in this world. So strategy, and here also the government and private, both of the sector have to has to be coordinated with each other for a creating job. I hope all the India is growing as well as I have seen all government strategy, many of the central government as well as the forecast given by a lot of the skill development authority, states also taking initiative, vocational courses, employment opportunity, employment officers, they are also creating something. In local level, we are managing the thing, local to global, all these will come together. So definitely will be globally will be achieved one day, where our youth, those who are talking since morning, 2.253 million youth, and the productive youth can be engaged in such a way that our nation will be first and topmost priority. Over to Rahul, please.
अग्रीड सर, अग्रीड। थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर शेयरिंग दिस इन्फॉर्मेशन विद अस। और जैसा आपने कहा, ये बहुत ज़रूरी है। और संवाद जहाँ पर आप कह रहे हैं स्किल डेवलपमेंट की आप बात कर रहे हैं, अब ये तमाम जगह होने भी लगा है। और यदि हम बात करें विज्ञान मंत्रालय की भी, तो उन्होंने एक ड्राइव शुरू की है, 1 वीक 1 लैब, एक सप्ताह एक प्रयोगशाला, जिसमें जो 37 लेबोरेटरीज हैं उनकी, दे आर कंडक्टिंग सम शोज, सम प्रोग्राम्स, जहाँ पर लोग आएँ और आकर उनसे जुड़ें और वो इतना अच्छा जो काम कर रहे हैं उसके बारे में जानें। और ख़ासकर उसमें स्टूडेंट्स के लिए भी एक दिन रखा गया है। स्पेशली आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट द नेशनल फिजिकल लेबोरेटरी NPL, जो कि उन्हीं 37 लैब्स में से एक है। उसमें पहले ही दिन जो उनका एक कार्यक्रम होने जा रहा है, 600 से ज़्यादा स्कूली बच्चे वहाँ पर आएंगे और उनके साथ संवाद करेंगे। और आज हम जिस दौर में हैं, जहाँ पर हमें ब्रिलियंट पॉइंट्स हमारे पास हैं, हमें उन्हें बेहतर तरीके से गाइड करना है ताकि हम उनको यूटिलाइज़ कर सकें। तो इस दिशा में काम हो रहा है और मुझे लगता है तमाम सारी चीज़ें हमारे लाभ के लिए ही हो रही हैं, जैसे आपने भी हमारे साथ शेयर किया। थैंक यू वेरी मच। और अब चूंकि हमारा ये सत्र समाप्ति की ओर भी है, तो अब हमने इंडिया की बात की, हमने उसके इकोनॉमिक डेवलपमेंट की बात की, स्किल डेवलपमेंट की बात की, होलिस्टिक डेवलपमेंट की हम यहाँ बात करने जा रहे हैं, लेकिन उसमें भारत का भी समावेश होना चाहिए। तो जो प्रश्न उठता है वो ये कि जो वैल्यू जो एजुकेशन है, जो एक तरह से कहना चाहिए कि वैल्यू डेवलपमेंट है बच्चों का, एडोलेसेंट्स का, वो कैसे हो सकता है, विच इज़ वेरी क्रूशल फॉर द होलिस्टिक डेवलपमेंट ऑफ भारत। इसके लिए हमारे साथ शिवा प्रसाद जी हैं। कैसे आप बताएंगे? अभी आपके पास मुझे लगता है पर्याप्त मात्रा में समय है। वुड यू प्लीज आंसर दिस?
धन्यवाद। Don't worry, I will not going to take the too much time.
Please, please.
So, as we know that an Indianness perspective is not a kind of teaching aptitude. It's an emotion. All right. So, जब हम बोलते हैं कि भारतीयता है, वो हमारे आवेग से जुड़ा हुआ है, and this Indianness emotion is extremely based on our values, our traditions. So that's why we can say that the values are the domains of the emotions that we have, and these emotions give us an identity as an Indian. And it is similar with the children as well. Specifically, when you observe that in a particular school we have different kind of children, just like in a garden we have a variety of flowers. Yes, so we have a variety of children in a school as well. Those who are belongs to different culture, different community, they may belongs to different ideology as well. Maybe they are belongs to a certain family background where they are following different kind of rituals. They may speak different kind of languages, but still they all have a similar kind of emotions and feeling, and that feelings give them the identity of an Indian. So where we are promoting such kind of emotions and feelings, we need to focus on our values and value development program. So in a school, when you are promoting value development programs, specifically with the help of teachers and counselors, that program must be based on different kind of cultural activities, different kind of articles writing. Let's observe different kind of observing different kind of days that we have. So most probably when we are conducting different kind of program or try to involve children with that one, take an example when our students are standing under a national flag, they always follow certain kind of behavior, and that give us a kind of emotions. Not even children, when we are when all adults are also there, when we are following the national anthem, that feelings and emotions provide us the Indianness. So it's a small example. It's a small example. Take an example, we have a different kind of conflict, or 2-3 students have different kind of conflict, they have a kind of huge castle, but when our national Indian cricket team wins a match, they all celebrate together. So it's give us a kind of opportunity to celebrate our own identity as an Indian. So yes, we have a variety of diversity. We are following different culture and tradition, but we are even promoting westernization in our country. But our values are the essential things to encourage students, and these values are must be the domain of developing our countries in future. And when we are focusing on westernization, look, westernization is not a wrong concept. It's very essential for the next coming generation, but focus on those westernized culture, those Western people, those who are highly successful. They are following Indian tradition. They are always speak about Bhagavad Gita. They are always speaking about Indian tradition, Indian values. Let's example of Nelson Mandela, Barack Obama. These are the people, those who are highly influenced through our culture, our tradition, our values. So whatever things that we are following, it's a kind of indirect procedure. So here we need to promote our culture within a little different manner. Let's give a kind of interesting example. If we will provide a poha to our kids, our students, let's say, then this is the Indian dish that you may eat. They will say, oh, this is the dish that we will, it's a kind of casual Indian dish, not going to eat. They mostly fond of, westernized food like momos, like noodles, burger. But when we are going to present the same poha within a different way, giving a different name, they will going to enjoy it. So yeah, this is the time to present our culture in a different way, present our values, input all those values, similar instinct, but the process of putting that values must be a bit more interesting, must be more effective, that a student can easily able to adapt. So adaptability among students are based on their interest. So we need to cultivate, we need to promote our values within a very different way among the coming generation, that they may carry the similar values that we have, and these values definitely help us to bring our nation into different path. Thank you, sir.
अग्रीड अग्रीड, बिल्कुल सही कहा आपने। और जैसे पोहे की आपने बात की तो मैं बिल्कुल सही कह रहा हूँ, जैसा आपने कहा भी कि कुछ ऐसा भी हुआ था एक शहर में, मैंने देखा कि बच्चे फ्रेंकी खाना बहुत पसंद करते हैं। तो मैंने सोचा कि लेट्स एक्सप्लोर व्हाट इज़ फ्रेंकी। असलियत में वो वही पराठा था जो हम घर में खाते हैं, उसके ऊपर सब्जी लगाकर उसको एक रोल बनाकर दे दिया जाता था और बच्चे उसको बहुत मन से खाते थे। जो जस्ट बिकॉज ऑफ फ्यू एड ऑन्स, उसको सब्जी और पराठा जो हम घर में खाते हैं उसको फ्रेंकी बना दिया गया था और वो बहुत ज़्यादा पसंद किया जाने लगा। फिर उस व्यक्ति ने ये बताया कि फ्रेंकी जो है आप घर में भी खा सकते हैं। तो उसका ये प्रयास था कि बच्चे जाने, लेकिन ऐसे लोग होते बहुत कम हैं जैसा आपने कहा। तो हाँ, इंडियननेस की बहुत ज़्यादा दरकार है और हमें अपनी जो रूट्स हैं उनको फॉलो पहले करना चाहिए। वेस्टर्नाइजेशन की यदि हम बात करते हैं तो दोज आर द मॉडल्स विच आर सक्सेसफुल फॉर देम। हमारे लिए जो सक्सेसफुल है, जो हमारे लिए पहले से चला रहा है, उसको भी देखें और साथ में एक ब्लेंडेड अप्रोच रखें। तो मुझे लगता है हमारा बेहतर हो पाएगा आने वाला कल। आप सबका मैं बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करूंगा। अभी हमारे पास कंक्लूडिंग रिमार्क्स के लिए 2 मिनट है, सो आई वुड रिक्वेस्ट डॉक्टर धन्या मैम, वुड यू प्लीज कंक्लूड दिस सेशन? यू हैव 2 minutes.
Rahul, we are in the era where we are presiding G20, and
Yes.
We preached a slogan Vasudhaiva Kudumbakam in the real sense.
Right.
And in this context, the discussion which happened in terms of physical development, psychosocial development, skill development, and overall sustainable development of the nation, the contribution of adolescents is enormous. And the point here is that we need to identify and provide that opportunity for adolescents so that they can contribute to it. In addition to value education related things and Indianness we talk about, in addition to the cultural practices, even in the curricular areas, we can make students appreciate Indian contribution and its contribution to the world. For example, when we teach about mathematics, we can talk about the contribution of Indian mathematician, ancient Indian mathematicians there. And when we talk about the structure of atom, we can have a reference of Indian philosophy of Paramanu there. So there are different ways of instilling these Indian values and traditions and cultural practices so that students nurture the values, understand the Bharati concept of education, and they have a feeling of being Indian, proud of being Indian, and they have a feeling of contributing to our nation as well. So I just wish all my young viewers that be very productive, responsible citizens of our country and keep contributing to the nation, and then let us lead our nation to the heights. Thank you, Rahul.
Great, perfectly fine. Thank you very much for your valuable remarks. अब हमारा सेशन जो है हम यहाँ समाप्ति की ओर ले चलते हैं और मैं ये कहना चाहूँगा with happiness that I got some important point as Miss Ranita, taught me today that we may lose some time. ये बहुत ज़रूरी है क्योंकि if we look around the past in 2017, that was the day of 18th June 2017 when we lost in the field of cricket against the arch rivals. वो मैच इंडिया आईसीसी चैंपियंस ट्रॉफी का हार गई थी. हम उससे पहले कभी हारे नहीं थे, तो हम ये सोचते थे कि हम अजय हैं. तो मैं ये कहना चाह रहा हूँ कि ये सब हमारी डेली लाइफ का हिस्सा है और मुझे लगता है कि ये यदि हम फॉलो करेंगे. और आज देखिए WTC के फाइनल में इंडिया खेलने वाला है इन जून 7 को हमारा मैच शुरू होगा अगेंस्ट ऑस्ट्रेलिया. तो मुझे लगता है कि कई सारे देशों को हराकर भारत अब आगे पहुंचा है. तो अगर वो हावी हो गई होती तो अब तक यहाँ पर कम बैक नहीं कर पाते थे हमारे खिलाड़ी. तमाम बातें यहाँ पर आज दिव्येंदु जी ने भी उन खिलाड़ियों की जिन्होंने इमेंस कंट्रीब्यूशन दिया है इन देयर रिस्पेक्टिव स्पॉट. सो कहने के लिए बहुत कुछ है. आप सब खुद मुझे लगता है बहुत स्मार्ट है. आज हमारी जो यंग जनरेशन है, दे आर वेरी मच केपेबल. Thank you very much for this wonderful session. I would like to thank you, each of our panelists. Dr. Dhanya Krishnan ma'am, thank you very much for joining with us for your wonderful homework, I must say. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
डॉक्टर दिव्येंदु कुमार बेज, आपका भी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. आप हमारे साथ जुड़े और आपने फिजिकल हेल्थ के बारे में चर्चा की. धन्यवाद आपका.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Mrs. Ranita Karmakar, आपका भी बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. Thank you very much for all your homework and giving us the concept of 4H. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Rahul. I enjoyed the discussions with my panelists.
Thank you very much. Mr. Jaydevkar, thank you very much, sir, for the wonderful discussion regarding the economic India. Thank you very much. And also, I would like to thank Mr. Siba Prasad Patel for the incredible India. Thank you very much. आपका जो भी डिस्कशन था हमारे साथ.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right. थैंक यू वेरी मच. हमारा ये सेशन जो है हम अब समाप्ति की ओर ले चलते हैं. जैसा आपने देखा हमारे सभी पैनलिस्ट के साथ हमने अपनी बातचीत की. आप ये हमारा जो सेशन है इसे फेसबुक पर और यूट्यूब पर बाद में भी देख सकते हैं जब आपको आवश्यकता हो. सो वुड लाइक टू कंक्लूड दिस सेशन विद द वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट मैसेज ऑफ टेक्स्ट बुक्स. NCERT textbooks for the academic year 2023-2024 are available throughout the country. These textbooks may be purchased directly from NCERT's sales counters located in New Delhi, Ahmedabad, Bengaluru, Kolkata and Guwahati. These sales counters will be functional on all the weekdays including gazetted holidays, Saturdays and Sundays from 9:30 AM to 6 PM. You may also place the order for the books for online from our website ncertbooks.ncert.gov.in, and these books will be delivered at your doorstep with no additional fees, no delivery fee. And if you want the soft copy of the books in the PDF version can be downloaded for free from NCERT, Diksha and eParicharcha website and mobile application. So you may please visit the website ncert.nic.in to know more about the authorized vendors list. So with this message, I would like to conclude today's Paricharcha, in which we have discussed empowering adolescents for nation building. मैं आपसे विदा लेता हूं अपनी टीम के साथ. हमारी अगली प्रस्तुति के लिए जुड़े रहिए और देखते रहिए NCERT का ऑफिशियल YouTube चैनल और eVidya चैनल्स. नमस्कार.